So this is psychological warfare. How do you bring down the U.S.? Slowly. In 2006, it was 13,000. In 2007, it was 26,000 preachers. We haven't gotten any new data or declassified or secret documents. The number is unknown, but the plan said doubling exponentially every year. So we're conservatively looking over 60,000 preachers. And everybody suddenly sees their local TV preachers and radio preachers saying, you know, you don't really need guns. When there's an emergency, you do what the government says and go to these centers for your safety. And it's of the Lord. Romans 13, do it. You're now seeing at least 26,000 preachers do this. They're sending the police into public schools, telling the kids, get ready for emergencies, teaching them how to load on buses at gunpoint with their hands behind their heads. All of this preparing everyone. All of this teaching them learned helplessness to go to the camps. Now, how are they going to sell this to the public now in the final phase? Remember, they're going to say, oh, we just built all these just now to keep you safe because the economy's imploding. Oh, my gosh, the banks have cut off liquidity. There's this big crisis. People are starving. There's high crime. People are rioting. As all the experts are now saying they'll do. Decades of this being set up. Decades of the troops training for this. And so people are actually on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com in the comment section under this article going, well, stuff's breaking down. They got to do it. And I always told you that right when the banking crisis began, right when they engineered it, they would then claim a new world bank with power over the U.S., with the Congress signing over its authority to take over private industry, to take over the roads, the infrastructure, and it's now in the mainstream news and the Wall Street Journal saying, well, we need this, and we need a new currency in a North American Union. Only that will fix the banking crisis. How are they going to sell it? You're now seeing. So how are they going to sell the public? How did the Soviets, how did the Germans, how did Mao sell it when they rounded up tens of millions and took them to forced labor camps and killed millions? They would say the economy's falling apart, or the public doesn't like you, or there's been violent attacks on you, or there's been high crime. We're taking you to an emergency center. See, first they wouldn't let Jews and other people work or have businesses, and a few years later they're bankrupt. Now their houses are being foreclosed. Oh, zoning rules in Germany. You can't have too many people living in one house because you've lost your homes. We're going to send you to a place for your own safety. And a lot of people in Germany, there's a bunch of groups they went after, said, okay, I want to go to this community with a fence so you're safe. It's all in the new bill. It's all in the new bill. And it says community pastors will office and community mayors, and this is what they've already done in scores of counties and cities. They take the old National Guard armories that back up on a few hundred acres or more. They put new fences with barbed wire facing in, and they say, this is the new threat integration center. We're giving the local, 3 cities in this area and the 4 counties, or whatever the case may be. It's different in every area. You'll come in here. You'll have live cameras, all the federal cameras put up for traffic. Then later they tell them it's to surveil the public. See, everything is done in a step-by-step thing to condition those, to acclimate the locals, to find out who'll go with them, to incrementally find out who the resistors are or who can reverse engineer what they're doing and understand it. And they tell them, this is an emergency anti-terror center and anti-crime center. And then they announce, as they first did 5 years ago in Green Bay, oh, guess what? In the new emergency center, you can type up wherever somebody's cell phone is and punch this button and track where they're at and hit this button and listen to the person's what they're saying. See, now it isn't the NSA that has the authority illegally to listen to you without a warrant. Now local counties and cities in the threat integration centers where you got the National Guard building or a federal building they give them, or an old mall that shuts down, the feds buy it, and then invite everybody in so they can be part of the petty power trip. And you've got the head preachers that lead the other preachers as Judas goats to tell the people to go to the camps. You've got the local police, the SWAT teams, all integrated, all trained. Now they federalize the National Guard, say the governors have no authority, bring them under Northcom, announce they're putting troops on the streets. FEMA's done this over at one of the Austin malls. I'm having one of those senior moments. David, what's the mall off I-35 in North Austin? Your wife saw it and told you about it, and then I Googled it, and sure enough, it was there, and I went over there, and it's a FEMA center now. Well, there's Lakeline, there's Barton Creek, Highland Mall. Highland Mall is now, go over there. They're there. And they'll men in uniforms come over with guns and say, get out of here. I mean, they're there right now. And over at the old airport, they've got a hangar with bolts and chains on the floors for the American people. And admit it's for you. That's right down the road. I mean, my cousin worked in the regular Army, and for the last 5 years, he's been here in Austin out at the old Air Force Base with all the underground stuff they've got there. He won't talk about it because it's all classified, but I already know. And they're busy integrating it all. I mean, this is just all around us. And so they have these threat integration centers that are built on to 1,000 acres, 2,000 acres, 200 acres, and they have holding facilities. They have mobile jails. You can even see the federal purchase orders for hundreds of thousands of these single-person cells. People take photos of them every day on the web and go, I was at a four-way stop or a railway stop and saw all these little single-unit concrete things with a steel door and bars on them. And, yeah, you can go look at the federal purchase orders. They're putting those all over the country. Hundreds of thousands sites in Georgia, in Oklahoma, in Texas and California, in Colorado of the plastic coffins. All of it, ladies and gentlemen. And now they come out and announce, and in this one bill, you see all the major elements of it. The threat integration centers, the FEMA centers. And they say it's all for your safety in the collapsing economy. They just so happen to have built all of these. They just so happen to have had this huge infrastructure. They just so happen to be paying off politicians decades ago. And I found out from Marines, and have the documents, it's in Road to Tyranny, they were kicking down doors and confiscating guns with Marines, with the police in Norfolk, Virginia. Again, beta testing in small units and then expanding out till now there is a giant standing army of paramilitary police, corporate executives, regular Army, National Guard being federalized, foreign troops standing by, all happening, and they come out with a bill and announce it's for your own good, and then the people email me and say, it is for my own good, Alex. So we're going to go over the bill when we come back. We'll get our guest on about 15 after because I want to be able to go through all this. And then we'll get into how they're killing people in camps in Canada. Stay with us.